Hi, I'm Amy from Koru Bodyworks, and this is the last instalment of our hip focus, and this is just going to be a couple of stretches that could help the hip after you've done some strengthening work, or when you're waking up in the morning and you just want a little bit more mobility in the hip. What I have is a towel, quite a thick towel, and just my headrest, and that is it. So to start off with, what I'd like us to do is just lay down on our backs. Okay. So very similar to when we started, it's just about opening up in the hips. So keeping the arms, and I'd like you to be open in the shoulders. Okay. And then just taking your feet together and allowing the hips to roll open. And just starting in this position. And just allowing them to feel at ease, not pushing into them too much, just to really relax and open up at the hip and just feel some nice relaxed muscles into the rotation area of the hips. Also the internal rotation, allowing that to happen. So you can take a few breaths here, just hang out here for a few moments. It's a nice way to start. And then when you're ready, just bring both of the legs back in together again. And we can go and do that sort of standard four stretch, I guess. So I've got my foot and I've popped it up on a bent knee. And just to start off with, I'm just doing some sort of bouncing of the hip. So I'm keeping my other leg stable. Just starting doing some slight rocking of the hip. Then maybe after 8 or 10 of those, I'm just going to push down and just really challenge the rotation, external rotation of the hip and stretch out. And then release, and again just kind of do a few bounces. And then again, when I've done about 8 to 10 of those, then I'll push. So my knee is pushing up against my hand and my hand is pushing up against my knee. I'm trying to externally rotate into that joint. And then I'll go ahead and do that on the other side. So if you want to get into lateral rotators a little bit more, you can drop like you're just crossing your legs when you're sitting down. And bring the legs over slightly to the side. So I'm taking my whole hip away from me so I can really feel a lengthening into these external lateral rotators. Some of you may have heard of the piriformis. We're tugging those sort of areas, taking your arm out to the side. And then just really pulling over to the side and just lengthening in there. Have a feel how that feels for you. Then I just take it to as far as it feels right to you. I'm looking the other way with my arm out to counterbalance that work. I can really feel a good stretch all the way in through to my sacrum, my sacroiliac joint, and coming back in. So I'm bringing my legs in and I'm actually coming back into centre. So you hadn't seen that, I've crossed my legs over, all the way over this time. I've moved my whole trunk, the bottom part of my body over to the side and then dropped down into that stretch, looking to the other side. Okay? And again, that will just get into really nice stretch into the rotators of the hip. Come back into centre. Now I'm going to take my towel. So we've done a few stretches into stretching into the internal rotators by allowing the hips to fall open. We've done some really obvious stretches with regards to targeting the lateral rotators. Now with this towel, I'm just trying to bolster up one side of my body. Taking this away. So get a decent amount of height, and then just lengthen that leg down, and same side, take the arm up and lengthen away. So what I'm trying to do here is just create a nice stretch into my deep hip flexors. This is one way you can do that. You can kind of reach the leg one way and reach the arm, so I'm stretching up, and then I'm taking a big breath and releasing down. And then take away, as I exhale, I'm reaching long. I'm in a lengthened position, taking a deep breath. So a big breath into the body, into the rib cage. And then allowing that to come back down. And you can do that as many times as you like. It's a lovely stretch. It really opens up the side of the body. Gives a nice sort of dynamic stretch to your hip flexors that you do for more stabilisation, so your psoas. Just keep it nice and long, deep breaths. And release. And then we're going to stay with the hip flexors. Take that towel away. In fact, if you have sore knees, any issues with your knees, pop this down. Pop that there. It might feel a little bit better. My head is cut off a little bit, but see if we can live with that. Taking the other leg up. So another thing you can do if you have a block or a book, if you're kind of a little bit worried with stability, just use something like this and pop it down next to you. So I'm taking my knee forward. My front knee is just in line with my foot, not in front of it. Okay, so in line with my foot. And this puts my back leg into extension. Okay, actually it might be better doing it this way. Let's see about there. There you go. Okay. So I'm already in extension. So I'm getting a hip flexor stretch here. I have extremely tight hip flexors from 20 odd years in an office, and this is kind of the way my body has been for a really long time. So for me to do something like this, I find it quite challenging. But the point that I want to make with this stretch is just to intensify it a little bit. And to do that, think about connecting through into your abdominals. And as a result, it could pull your pelvis into a slight posterior tilt. Another cue for somebody would be that it may make sense to just try and tuck your tailbone under, sort of reaching under. And that will just intensify that stretch. You can also add more by putting the arm up into the air, reaching forward, and just lengthen it and look up. So for me, that's pretty full on. I can feel that. So just work in line with what your body wants and feels and work up to it. You can start with just this lunge, then adding into a slight posterior tilt of the pelvis, lengthening the arm, and looking up and falling into that stretch a little bit more, and then come out of that stretch and just give it a couple of seconds to recoup. And then of course you can do that on the other side. So from a stretches perspective, we have done an opening up, so allowing the medial rotators to lengthen. We've done a couple of stretches for your lateral rotation into the back of the hip and into the glute. Deep stabilising hip flexors and your lengthening on the floor, and then also targeting as well some of your superficial hip flexors like your rec fibs and your big muscles here that will impact the movement of the hip. So I hope you've enjoyed the series. Please do leave me some feedback, or if you have any requests then let me know and I'll certainly try and do those for you. Thanks for watching.